What is up, guys? It's Scott with Never Hedge back for another HCMC update. Look at all those nice green crayons there at the bottom of the screen. Looks like a pretty low volume day for HCMC as we were literally just barcoding the entire time. RSI is actually looking not that bad, all things considered, sitting at 51.94. And MACDs are bouncing back and forth as you would expect on a barcoding day. We got the PM documents released from Pacer Monitor. They did respond today to HCMC's response. So we're going to get to that in just a minute. First, a quick word from the sponsor, ethbets.org. Join ETH Bets Sportsbook today and receive a 50% welcome bonus up to $500. They do accept all major types of cryptocurrency as well as over 20 ERC and BSC based tokens. All you got to do, guys, fill out the contact form with your email and your desired cryptocurrency for deposit, and they will set your account up before you actually deposit. So once your deposit clears, you are good to go. Here's a quick look at the back end. And I am eyeing a game for the late MLB tonight. Los Angeles Dodgers -1.5 over the shitty New York Mets. I'm not going to go huge on this. Just going to throw down 25. I already have a bet in today. The Atlanta Braves -1.5 over the also terrible Baltimore Orioles. There we go. Bet is placed. Boom. Onto the documents here. So we're not going to go through and read the entire response from Philip Morris, but there are a couple of things that I wanted to get to on this. So here we go. The defendant, Philip Morris and Philip Morris USA IQOS device is indisputably a heat not burn product that is engineered so combustion cannot occur. As set forth in the FDA documentation, Healthier Choices Management Corporation introduced into this lawsuit, PMPSA demonstrated the absence of combustion to the FDA before the FDA authorized the defendants to sell the IQOS in the United States. All right, so first off here, it seems like their whole response is based on their FDA application that got approved. And if you know anything about the FDA, is they do not issue patents or validate patents. They are also prone to capture. I'm pretty sure the FDA is funded by, I think they get about 50% of their funding from the companies that they are supposed to be regulating. So you can't really trust them as far as you could throw them in my book. But that is what the cornerstone of Philip Morris's argument is. The 170 patent was not necessary. The asserted patent was invalid because of lack of combustion, was the sole distinguishing figure that HCM told the patent office justified in the issuance of the patent. Dr. Mader explained that evidence cited by HCM in its complaint is evidence that combustion did not occur. Okay, so this is still regarding the FDA application. Healthier Choices could have responded in February 2021 explaining the infringement theory, and it now presents to the court, which is inconsistent with its existing allegations, but HCM did not. Accordingly, defendants moved to dismiss, pointing out the 170 patent supported only one meaning for combustion, that it requires heating to a temperature where the combustible materials ignites and burns. In response, Healthier Choices Management did not meaningfully address this point or suggest that there was any special meaning for combustion used by Philip Morris or the FDA in the court documents that Healthier Choices included to make out its complaint or otherwise before the court on the defendant's motion. Okay, so still just relying on that flimsy FDA application. During the prosecution of a patent application that is the parent to the 170 patent, HCM expressly distinguished prior art as being inapplicable because it disclosed vaporization, not combustion. Then, during the prosecution of the 170 patent, HCM received another rejection, this time based on the prior art patent that disclosed combustion of tobacco. In response to that rejection, Healthier Choices amended its patent claims. In permitting the amended claims, the patent office examiner stated his reasons for an allowance in a document dated December 4th, 2019, and explained that he would not consider prior art intended to mimic the experience of smoking a combustible cigarette without the actual combustion of tobacco because it did not teach initiating a combustion reaction. Jesus. Moving on a little bit, the court may also consider documents that defendants would attach to an answer to the proposed amendment to the proposed amended complaint, from which defendants could move for a judgment on the pleadings under Rule 12C. It generates combustion markers, including carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, in sufficient quantities to indicate that at least some combustion occurs when operated as intended, but rather than pointing out to the Exhibit J FDA document it previously attached, Healthier Choices now instead relies only on paragraph 48 of its opposed amended complaint, which pleads combustion on information and belief. Oof. Sick burn, Philip Morris, solely based on testing of its hired expert, Michael Diebel. Mr. Diebel concedes that he did not test an actual IQOS device. He instead took cross-sectional samples of some unknown dimensions of the heat sticks. Dr. Diebel fails to explain why he purported the detection of the presence of compounds like carbon monoxide led him to conclude a combustion reaction, while the presence of the same compounds in the IQOS emissions led the FDA to conclude the opposite, probably because you fucking paid them off. In particular, the FDA concluded minimal levels of carbon monoxide found in the IQOS testing, which were substantially lower levels compared to cigarette smoke, is evidence of thermal decomposition. All right, moving on a little bit more. So they keep going back to the FDA application here. That includes the FDA documents, which definitively equate combustion with burning. FDA report finding evidence suggests that combustion does not occur in the IQOS system with heat sticks when it is used as intended. There is sufficient evidence to support the following statement: the IQOS system heats tobacco but does not burn it. Not only is there no support for a plausible allegation that a combustion reaction is defined as only requiring fuel oxygen. All right, moving on a little bit down the motion here. We're a couple pages ahead, and more word on combustion. This little bit is pretty important. That is unsurprising because if Dr. Diebel defined combustion properly as compelled by the intrinsic record, even if his scientific evidence could not support a plausible allegation of combustion, the intrinsic patent and pleadings record confirm that it is implausible that as tobacco is heated to 250 degrees Celsius, it ignites, but then as it is heated more, burning stops, only to start again above 400 C. HCMC cannot plausibly allege that literal infringement with an implausible claim construction supported solely by the ipsa dixit say-so of its expert. Here they literally admit that combustion occurs, right? And then stops, and then somehow only starts again above 400 C. It seems kind of sneaky of them to say, oh, well, it combusts a little bit, but then it definitely doesn't combust, and then it starts combusting again. If combustion occurs, is what I have to say about that. So we've got some more BS about the FDA here. HCM did not attach the FDA evidence as background, and instead HCM specifically pointed to the FDA exhibit to support its allegations, and Healthier Choices cannot stick its head and pretend that a document seeking FDA authorization that it relied upon and the FDA's response do not exist. Instead, the court can properly consider these documents because they are, one, central to the plaintiff's claim, and two, undisputedly authentic. Yeah, but they don't have anything to do with the patent here. I think that is where we are getting confused. So pretty much, I mean, I've read this once before, and there's not really much in here other than the FDA documents, that Exhibit J that HCMC included, and that was really more or less one of their weakest arguments. Notice how they didn't bring up their own patent in this counter argument, because the patent is fucking HCMC's Q Cup. You know, it's pretty sneaky stuff here, but I honestly don't think Philip Morris has a shot in this. This was a desperate attempt to obfuscate the truth in relying solely on the FDA's application and acceptance of the IQOS device. We could keep going through every page here, but I mean, we basically have the gist of it here, and that is pretty much all I got for you guys on this one. I hope this helps, and I think we're going to see a pretty big spike on Monday with this as people go through it and they read it and they realize that Philip Morris is full of shit. I think confidence is going to be restored into this, and then we've got another 2 weeks for HCMC's response to this. So things are going to be getting pretty spicy around here, guys. So as always, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel for more updates on HCMC as well as other stocks and tokens we like. And I thank you guys so much for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next video.